good morning everyone, and it is a good morning although it's Sunday morning. Just to show you that we've got the bearings in the housing here and they fit lovely. This has been dropped down a little bit so that we can get this oil transfer ring in. This one fits nice and flush, nice and tight fit, nice and tight fit. But how does it fit on the gearbox? Well, I've got one here. Here's the gearbox here. I've noticed one or two little differences though, so I'll stick with this video because if you're going to do this, it could be interesting. The lay shaft bearing needs a bushing in it. This is the outer, this is the inner race, but we've had to make a little bushing to go into there, so that's a nice tight fit on there. Alright. The other one goes straight onto the shaft, it's not a problem at all. And of course that's the way up it goes with the shoulder down to the bottom. Now stick with this because the shoulder is the most important thing. We've got the case in here with the dowels in, we can turn that kind of nice. Now I haven't fitted the oil transfer hole yet because I wanted to see what the ring, I mean not hole, I wanted to see what the bearings fit like. And they fit nice. So that's into there. We've just, it's on the dowels. Right, that's on the dowels now. So it's lovely, it turns nice. So we know the centres are correct and the bearings are in the right place in relationship to the dowels, etc. This is a good thing. So now I can sort of order some more bearings up because I've got 4 of the transmissions out there ready to be done. I'll show you what I don't like about this, and I'll show you about this oil ring because it's important. So what's the problem? Well, it's not a problem, it's easily rectified, but this is the original oil transfer ring. It goes in here. So oil comes from your pump through this passage here, through this port, through the side of here, there's an oil hole here, and then into here. Now this is the earlier type which had the little dams on there so oil can't go back to the interior of the box without going into the shaft. That was principally on the later ones, but I've got a collection of these, but we have to do one or two things. And this really got me foxed this week because our bearing here, where this fits on, is 41 millimeters. The hole for the ring here is 39.35 on this one. This is a typical one. So you can expect that this ain't going to go through there. And I found out to my knowledge last week when I tried to bolt it down and broke the ring. It's a very expensive mistake to make. I didn't think about it. These are about £42 each. Fortunately I've got some old ones. So we went back down the machine shop and we got JP just to put them on the lathe and turn these out for these fag bearings that we've got here. So they're all the same, and I'll show you how they fit. This is the bearings on this gearbox here. Yeah, you can perhaps see that. Maybe I'll turn it around a bit. No expense spared. So this is where it goes, and you can see we've got our split rings and a collar around here, and that fits on there. But if this is the smaller one, I picked up the smaller one by mistake. Wait a minute, is this the one we want? Yeah, that's how it should fit. So you can see the problem. If you fit a standard one on an updated bearing, it ain't gonna fit. What happens is you'll break it. They're only made of like Bakelite type plastic. They're not very strong. So we got a couple of them machined. That's a standard one, so I'm going to hang on to that one. I'm going to show you more about that in a minute. But we just had them machined so they're a nice snug fit. All right. Now, this is the funny and interesting part. When I fitted these in the past, the kit from Ashcroft's, these heavy duty bearings, you know, in the housing, we had to send the housing away to the United Kingdom to get machined. It's a bit of an expensive thing. But anyway, when they came back with the bearings. They were some other brand, I don't know, I'll put it down here. But they used the original oil transfer ring. But according to the specs, they should be the same as this. It should be a bigger shoulder. So I've got a sneaking suspicion that Ashcroft's might just take 1mm off the edge of these bearings, because it doesn't really do anything. Might take 1mm off the edge of these bearings so that you can use the standard ring. Now, for me, thinking about that, well, these don't really wear out all that much. But the problem is, in the future, if you want to rebuild this box and you want to upgrade the bearings, well, you'll find out that they won't fit anyway because they're the bigger bearings. So you'll work off the part number and buy the same bearing assembly. Okay, and it's not too difficult to work out. But when you fit them with the original ring, you'll snap it without knowing, because you'll tighten it down on the bolts like I did, not thinking about it, and you can break the ring. So if you have a problem with the bearings and you want to take them out, getting this one out is kind of easy. You just push it out. But this one, you've got to push it from the back. Alright, now if you can see down here, there isn't much room to push the bearing out. So JP made me this little tool and I welded a washer on there that fits very snug inside there. You can see what I mean, it's a snug fit and it's going to press the bearing out. How did I find that out? Because I was playing around with these rings and I used my original tool I used for pushing bearings in and out, and it slipped and broke the plastic ring that holds the rollers in. Didn't realise, I thought they were all the same. Anyway, so we're getting somewhere. Now the thing is, I'm not going to quite put this on yet, because I'm going to use this one on that gearbox up there. But this face here has got so much hammer rash on it, I do not know what people have been doing to it. It's just awful. So what I'm going to do is, I know that this face is flat, but I'm going to probably take it down to the machine shop. I might have to take it down to Claude because he does cylinder heads, and clamp it down and just do a very light skim across this and polish it up a bit. It won't be detrimental to anything that's on here, but I'm going to take the bearings out again, because the other machine shop that does the boring, the CNC, I don't think they've got a fly cutter to do this, you know, like you do with cylinder head. But so that's why this is on hold a little bit till tomorrow. But tomorrow, because it's Sunday today, I'm going to pop down to the machine shop that does the CNC and get them to do the 5 other casings, get them done. I'm going to now put the bearings in all of them, because now we've worked it out, it's going to be a better seller and it's going to be better for the gearboxes, I hope.